You find the ruins of what must have been a small settlement, but it looks abandoned for at least a decade. You see the hanged man floating aimlessly, wailing at the sky. The souls of those who died of hanging, especially self-inflicted, are known to become damned like this. But there could be You look around the abandoned settlement, and you find several skeletons of people with their heads severed, as well as many funeral pyres that look very makeshift and rushed. At the center of the village, you discover an oak tree, with the hanged man's skeletal body still swinging from a branch. As you search the body, the ghost appears again, but this time without the noose around its neck. Instead, you see a well-built, middle-aged man in a wide-brimmed hat with a large book and a crossbow at his side. The ghost seems much more coherent now as it speaks to you. So you have come. Good. It was not me, well, not strictly. I can only hold this form for a short time. Soon I will revert back to the anguished deformity that is the hanged man. Driven by instinct alone, I will seek out life and haunt it, desperately trying to seek aid. Many would have slain my spirit by now. My thanks to your patience. Indeed, it is somewhat redundant for you. I have no true answer for what happens to us, except that we come back with less and less of ourselves left. Every time we are slain, we lose a part of our souls, until there is nothing but an angry shell left. If you find a way to release my spirit, well, before the darkness, my soul would have traveled through the roots of the cosmic tree into the underworld, where it could rest in peace. Now, well, I am afraid I do not know for sure how to lift your curse. I am fading again, and soon will become the hanged man again. So I will tell you this. Read my diary, and find a way to rest my spirit. Or find another way to banish me from this fate. If you do. Inside the man's coat pocket, you find a note, or rather what looks like a page torn out of a diary. The curse of the Striga takes hold quickly. Within days I saw signs of these good people falling to the darkness. Only I knew what had to be done, and gods helped my soul for it. I had no other recourse but to kill those who were taken and those who stubbornly stood in my way. I had hoped to finish the job and return to you, my daughter, but alas, I can feel the curse upon my soul. I can hear the voice of my soon-to-be mistress calling me at night, and every night the voice becomes sweeter. Soon I will not have the will to resist, so I must act now, even knowing my soul will be damned among the wretched. If you shall ever find this place, I needed you to know my true fate. As you examine the rope, you see it was weaved with silver, and on the ground you see a pentagram drawn with rock salt and poppy seeds, or at least that's what they could have been. All known repellent for the dark magic and the creatures of the night. The hanged man appears next to you and points to a map attached to the page. You see several settlements marked and one signed Home. You remembered a book and a crossbow on the ghost, and so you search for it near the body. You discover both objects buried under a pile of stones. Instead of following the ghost's diary, you can try to perform a folk ritual. You would have to soak the bones in salt water, then burn them, then bury the ashes under the hanged man's tree. This could banish the spirit. It will not release it from its bondage, but it would not be able to return to these lands at least. wounds don't always have a chance to heal, and so death can claim its prize. You lose your footing and fall into a really deep ditch. You quickly realize you are not alone and that you have fallen into a viper's nest. Before the snake's attack. You stumble across some ruins of an old, one of many buildings you tirelessly search. stumble across some ruins of an old city, engulfed in mist and mist. You open one. And discover a supplies store still intact. An unexpected visitor, Theodore, arrives at your village.
Your food stocks have grown. Your people are learning how to live in the awakened Thea once more. But the darkness is not gone. Always looming in the shadows, lurking behind. Ah, that's the spirit. I knew we could count on you. I must warn you, others have tried and failed before you, so the road will not be easy. I know some, but I do not hold the answers you need to seek. I know that once Thea was a land ruled by high magic, a land where demons were kept in check by the peoples, and by the cosmic balance upheld by the gods. The pillars of Thea stood sturdy and held our world together. Now the barriers between the lands of the living and those of the dead are... There have been those who sought to undo this curse, those who were charged with the guardianship of Thea's pillars, and who have failed us. Some were the ancient peoples...
Hidden away in a quiet alcove, you discover a single house amongst ruins of... As you approach, the hammering stops and a dwarf walks out to greet you. That's far enough, strangers. You do not want to anger Chael. She gets very jumpy, that one. The pilot... Hey, your village, aye. Well, truth be told, I move around me, and I don't like trust any stranger coming to see me. Unless I want you to, you will not find your way here, hence the invite. And this brings me to why you did find me. I have a wee problem, and if you help... well, it's kind of embarrassing. You know, us fallen dwarves, that is, the ones who stayed behind when the darkness came, we tend to be solitary types, at least when it comes to females. After all, no dwarven woman chose this sad fate, at least not one I know of. In any case, the story cut short, there is a cute demon girl, the nice type, mind you, living nearby, and, well, I tried impressing her with my smithing, but this is a serious matter, mind you. She can get a bit nasty if you're not careful, and I've been trying for decades. Excellent. Here's a map of the local area. I must... Thea is not an easy place to grow up in, but alas, grow up we must. One of your children has matured into a young adult and is ready to join your village and rebuild Thea. Becoming an adult is an important rite of passage. As you approach the place shown by the dwarf, you see a girl. When she sees you, she runs over without a second thought for her own safety and speaks with a voice so soft and melodic, you cannot help but listen. You look, well, I guess you look like, you can handle some ruffians, right? The dwarven smith. Oh, Bodan, him. But why are you bothering me with him? I have a real emergency on my hands. I had 4 children. My nieces, yes. I was going to take them home. I was on my way home. It's not too far from here, and we thought we were safe. Now there is no time to chat. We must find them now, and I would help, only I am so weak. These orc brutes have surely harmed my little ones. Oh, please help. Go out with the dwarf. What are you talking about? There are children at stake here. Yes, I will do as you say. Sneaking up on the band of orcs, but as you lay there observing, the female...
Surely you know that Rusalka is a devious temptress, always seeking to deceive and bait the living. Children are a favoured prey among the demon kind. We've learned this the hard way during the long night. Real pretty, long black hair, looks kind of wet all the time. Her voice is all sweetness, and yet she's on her lonesome, out here, wearing nothing but a skimpy dress to barely cover her bosom. Sounds about right? You ever wonder how something that fragile wasn't even a tad... Well, there you have it. So what now? We're not giving you the little ones, they're coming home with us. Why? Does it make a difference? You think we kidnapped them, but if they're orcs, then whatever. They are neither. One is either a very ugly human or a wee goblin. But in any case, I ask again, what of it? They may not be orcs, but we do not care. We rescued them, and now they will be safe with us. I don't mean to offend, but do you really think your hovel of a home and a few pitchfork-wielding villagers are going to be...
As you approach the place, the Rusalka smiles at you, and for a moment, all you fools, they would have been immortal, young and beautiful forever. But now what? You or the orcs will raise... The Rusalka looks at you with anger. Her eyes begin to turn red, and her skin whiter. But then she spots the red string, and shrieks back. Damn that orcish bitch! She gave you the ribbons, did she? Ah, what will I do now? My sisters will... The Rusalka looks at you stunned. And for a few seconds you see no comprehension on her face. And then she finally nods and speaks. Her voice is sweet and innocent once more. The dwarf. You go down to the fields to check if any crops survived this night, and you discover a large molehill on your way. A peculiar-looking mole carrying a small shovel. The mole does not respond. It just stares at you. The mole waves back. You find the skeletal remains of a person, most likely an elf, as the bones have a slight silver tinge and are much lighter than any other humanoid bones you know. On the body, you discover a scroll that unrolls as soon as you touch it. There is a smell of burning wood in the air, and the scroll itself. And so the cosmic trees stood in flames, and with it, the world burned alike. For as the canopy burned, so did the skies turn red, and the heavens were no more. As the core burned, the earth scorched, fields turned to ash, and Note 1 is written in a beautiful style, impeccable, neat, and very distinct. It reads, "And so our duty failed. Did we fail our charges? Did we abandon them too soon? Or were we never supposed to do so in the first place? Should we have guarded the sacred pillars more vigorously? I must go to the evergreen grove and find answers." Signed, Alicia Silveroak, scholar of the Age of Thunderer, keeper of the knowledge, last of the sacred guardians. There is an old map with the grove marked upon it. It won't be easy to follow after all this time, but you do recognize.